Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Uh-huh.
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 264. I am B.
Chick.
I'm Ryan.
And on today's podcast, we talk sports.
Yeah, a lot of sports.
Sports.
This is sports radio tonight.
It is
all
sports
right?
radio.
So if you like sports, hang on.
If you don't, skip it.
If you don't, skip it.
Yeah.
B gets into his Jets fandom.
Yeah, an impassioned history of
Yeah. Well, you're going to hear a lot about
B's
the
relationship
Jets.
with the Jets, but it was a big day. It was one of the bigger stories. I think it was one of like the bigger sports stories, to me,
Probably.
ever.
It'll be
But the biggest one this year so far.
yeah.
it'll be etched in my mind and my heart forever.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
will go down in lore for the Jets.
Oh, it's on the list of many, you will hear of some of them. I
Yeah.
missed a lot of them, but you'll hear some of
We
the.
talk about
the
chicks
Jets.
sports coaching. So
Coaching
Yes.
flag.
Yes.
yeah, it's a little bit about OJ.
My boy.
Yeah.
It's getting closer.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
The opinions of Chick do not reflect the opinions of the adult babies in
That
large.
is correct.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, it was a fun one.
This
It
was
was
fun.
fun. I like getting together. Good thing we're
I
back
miss you
on. We're
guys.
back on 2 weeks in a row. I like it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
miss you guys. It's always good to catch up.
And
you
next
know?
week we have a guest.
we do have a
That's
guest.
right.
Yeah.
Big celebrity guest coming next
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Big time now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once
Hopefully,
you get a
he'll-
special, you're famous in my book.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
But enjoy.
You never ask if we're recording.
Yeah.
You just assume.
You just
We just-
assume.
now we just
assume
assume we're
you're
recording.
always on a
When you-
podcast.
yeah, when you walk in here, you're recording. That's the new.
That's the new.
Everywhere I'm at, I assume I'm on a podcast.
That's
Sometimes
that's
I-
how he goes
that's
through
how I
life.
go through
It's
life.
one big podcast.
I mean, I feel like that's a way to make yourself interesting everywhere you go.
That is true. If you think about it as a podcast, I feel like you're more prone to talk
Yeah.
to people and
Let's have a
actually-
conversation.
Yeah, actually converse and.
Do you find that
listen.
podcasting has widened your conversation skills? I know you're you're a talker.
I'm a talker anyway, but I think it's forced me to listen more.
Really? So you listen on the outside. You don't listen here, but you listen
No, I listen here because I'm conscious of cut. I'm more conscious now that I'll cut people off
because you're on video.
because I'm on video. No, because I'm on the podcast and you guys tell me all the time that I do
Alright.
it.
I've never told
He's
Because
you.
I
got
haven't
his-
been as bad with you, but like we've been doing this 5 years for about 4.
He's gotten much better. But
So that's why I could say I've tried to take that into real life, like I just did to you. But
yeah,
I
well,
wasn't-
yeah.
I wasn't finished. I feel like you cut my thought off.
Okay, fair enough. I waited for you to see. What I do is I wait for you to end the sentence, but I realize a lot of your sentence, they're run-on sentences.
Just keep talking.
Yeah.
But
And that's
yeah, so
fine.
I think I've become a better listener.
Yeah, you have.
I think
Well,
outside.
if you approach every conversation considering even like an outside listener, then obviously it would be more interesting, probably for the person that you're actually speaking to. So if you
Yes.
approach every conversation like a podcast, you would think it would be a better conversation
It would be.
to that person. Yeah.
Yeah, and I-
But then the problem is then you get in the mind like, I should record that. It was a good conversation. I should have recorded that.
There's so much, especially like with just hanging out at comedy shows. Like there's always good conversations. You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bad ones
Have
too.
you found that? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, with my friends, not
Right.
the randoms.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I feel you.
But yes, I have found that. I would say. I would say.
I've learned that I've started to. I don't know if I just like interview everybody, but I ask a lot more questions now in like conversations. Like I don't know if I feel like maybe I am treating everybody like a podcast guest, and I'm just trying to find out. But I like that. You know, you got to try and learn about people.
I
and
feel like
things.
I interview people as well. Because you get a lot more out of people if
When
you
you
start
ask
asking
them
Well, it's like-
questions.
It's
yeah.
like we were talking about going on a date. and asking questions about them.
Yeah.
Like some guy, you said that guy was just talking about himself constantly. Yeah, if you ask, like, if you're interviewing her, theoretically, then that makes people like to talk about themselves. So
Yeah.
Well, that's what I find. What at least is definitely with dating is that I just drill them with questions until they
Ew.
start asking me about questions, asking me questions.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you ask someone and then they reiterate it back to you. You know, it's like,
yeah,
Yeah. Like, what do you do for a living?
and then you answer and then you're like, what do you do?
Yeah. There's a lot of ping pong on dates.
do I hang out at Croxley's a lot?
Yeah. It's my spot.
Were you there last night?
Yeah.
Were you?
Why?
I was gonna go. Me and my sister were gonna go. Yesterday was her birthday. She wanted to go out to watch the game, and I was gonna text you guys in the middle of the day. Hey, I'm heading to Croxley's tonight for the game, but
If you were coming there, I would have went.
I would have. I didn't. I wanted to leave room, and she ended up changing where she wanted to go. But that's where she wanted to go.
Let me know next time you go there. Last night in particular, you wouldn't have. I didn't want to be around anybody.
I was almost not even going to bother because I figured this is going to be a big night because you're a big Jet fan, obviously.
You know what the difference is?
yeah.
I'm a big
So-
Giant fan, and you could still text me during a game, and I'll respond.
Well, it was
whatever.
before that. I was thinking like he seems like the type that wants to be even like maybe the game opener wants to be home, wants to be looking at the TV, not a lot of stuff
Well, I
going
am
around.
that guy.
You get deeper in the year, you go out, you enjoy.
You're absolutely right.
First game, you want to be invested in the.
I never go out for the Jets game. I stay home. I watch because usually they're on at 1:00, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, I do care, but like 1:00, they never get like a Monday night big prime time game. So I went out last night. I was like, and I talked to some friends. I was like, listen, I'm just gonna be here. This is where I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need people around me because I don't want to be distracted.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a podcast last night.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interview people. I wanted to focus on my team. Okay. So that's what I did last night. I got there an hour and a half ahead of time to make sure I got a seat right at the bar.
Yeah.
Right.
TV right in front of you.
TV right in front of me. I don't want to be bothered. I also like the right people around me. I know some people around town. It's good to have them. And then
So
4 plays in.
yeah, let's get into it.
So here's the thing.
So, yeah.
I've been a Jet fan for a long time.
We get it.
A long time.
What does that mean? We get it.
No, we've talked about this numerous times. I'm over him.
You're over what?
His Jet fandom.
But you're a Giant. Are you not as big a Giant fan? Are you
Yeah, I am.
Are you
I am.
passive? So
But I
why can't he have his Jet fandom?
Just let him go.
Okay.
I've been a Jet fan
Stop the beginning. You're right.
my entire life.
Okay.
I was watching videos of me as a kid recently,
Yeah.
and there's in the home videos from the 80s, it's my dad screaming in the background about a Mark Gastineau sack. Okay? It runs deep. It runs real deep. All right? I was there. Rich Kotite's 1-16 season. I was there.
My dad's friends with Rich Coach.
I lived through it. He stinks. I lived through
Worst
it.
coach of all time.
I lived through the 1-16 season. Okay, I went through the drafting of Brady of not Tom Brady, Kyle Brady, Kyle Brady in 1995.
Hell of a tight end from
Kyle
Penn State.
Brady ahead of Warren Sapp, Hall of Famer Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Okay, I lived through that. I lived through Pete Carroll. I lived through who was the youngest head coach at the time. Now he's the oldest. I lived through Bill Belichick being the head coach of the Jets for 3.5 hours and then resigning. He resigned in 3.5 hours. Okay. Vinny Testaverde.
Just let him go.
I lived through Vinny Testaverde. Okay, Vinny Testaverde comes over. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl in 1999. The guy tears his ACL. He tears his ACL. Same injury we saw last night, by the way. I lived through.
We're gonna go every season. They suck.
Yeah, I was gonna
Every
say-
year's a
I was gonna
disappointment for them.
well, now you can have one more.
I lived through Adam Gase. I lived through Adam Gase. I lived through Todd Bowles. I lived through the butt fumble. I've listened. Everything. and I'll live through this because I'm a Jet fan. I'm a diehard Jet fan. I bleed green. I bleed it. Dude, it was.
And literally, he bleeds it now. Fucking chemicals in it.
That's very funny. That's very funny. I watched that and I want to cry.
Yeah.
I shed a tear.
So, all
at
right,
one
let's
point
rewind
last
a little
night.
bit. You were
At Croxley's.
no, but did you hate Aaron Rodgers going like last year? Did you hate Aaron Rodgers? You
Last
an
year,
Aaron Rodgers hater.
No, I
'Cause
didn't. He wasn't my favorite.
Okay, but then I was texting about it with other people today, and I was saying how, it's just the story of this. They drew out the announcement of the trade. Now, how long did that trade take? 3 months?
It
for
took
them to-
I
because
feel like
they
I've been
announced
waiting-
the trade
it was-
before it was going to be physically possible for the trade to happen. So yeah, it was like 2 months before.
It was rumored, then it was hinted, then it was
done deal,
unofficially
but-
announced, but
yeah.
then announced. That took 3 months for that to happen. Then they make the Jets
The
the
hard
hard
knocks.
knocks, and the whole NFL is behind. Let's get this guy's character back to where it's got to be.
And they did it. God damn it.
Yeah, they
blew him
fixed
so hard on that
fixed
show.
his bad image.
They fixed it.
a lot of people still,
you know
still
what?
hated him, obviously, but New York, but they needed to get New Yorkers behind this guy, and they did a
They
pretty
did.
good job of it. Then they got like, yeah, he's helping out the young kids. He's he's
I love your summary of this. Keep going, please.
I mean, that's it. Then they have him carry the flag out on 9/11. They give the Jets
give
opening week Monday Night Football.
I had chills. I had chills when
They give the Jets. They say, let's give
Dude,
it to
if
the
you-
Jets. Let's give it 2 New York teams. 9/11, first Monday night
The
game.
NFL fucked that up. That should have been Giants Jets.
It should have been, but
Thank God it wasn't.
well,
We would have
yeah.
lost
Yeah.
still.
So yes, and they put him up against a good team. So I was thinking before, it's so funny. This is the story of the Jets. The Giants lose one of the biggest blowouts in NFL history. One of the most embarrassing performances ever.
And I was talking to some people. I said, in my whole life, I've always been a Giant fan, just like him. I don't need to, tell you guys my life story as a fan. I did the same shit
because
he
he
does.
hasn't lived
And
through
you've had some
I'm
wins.
a Mets fan. The Giants have had
The-
plenty of down years and bad,
the
embarrassing
cursed
things.
franchise of the New
But
York
yeah,
Jets.
I said no matter what, I could always thank my, that my parents were Giant fans because I'm not a Jet fan. But anyway,
So I was going to say, so the Giants lose one of the worst and most
worst
embarrassing
game I've ever seen in my life.
games.
In
ever.
my life.
The Jets win Monday Night Football against a good team. They beat a good team, and yet Monday morning we're still talking about what a joke the Jets are. How is that possible? How do they do that?
I am not talking about I am talking about the heart that team played to win that goddamn game last
But
night.
you understand the joke, the memes.
Oh,
the-
I get
Oh,
it.
he
You know what I
gets-
mean?
I get it.
Can I tell
the
you, this is-
memization of this,
And this is why I don't want to hear his stuff about the Jets. He's a delusional
people
fan.
forgot that the Giants had the worst game,
Ever.
worst opening game.
They
ever.
literally
Oh, I didn't
did some
forget.
things that teams haven't done in a full season in one game. It was the worst game I can honestly say I've ever witnessed as a Giant fan in my
embarrassing.
whole life. And still happy I'm a Giant fan and not a Jet fan.
I went to Napatani's with my sister, who's a Giant fan.
Yeah.
But
Sisters, good people.
I grew up.
She makes good decisions.
I grew up a Jet fan. I kind of walked away from all sports because I was all losers. I was Mets, Jets, Islanders. I used to get heartbroken over losses, and I still do. And as much as I don't really care about sports, and I kind of walked away from it a little bit. When I decide to get into it, I get so heartbroken. I'm like, this is why I don't watch this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because I care too much, and I don't want to care, so I just have to just ignore it. Like I remember like the
Out of
last
sight,
time
out
the
of
Mets
mind.
were in the World Series, I was like, you're up in you screaming at every pitch, and it's like,
It's insane what
and
it
then
does to you.
the next day I'm like annoyed. I'm annoyed because a bunch of millionaires like they don't care. Like I care more than they care. Like until they're upset about like my day, and they're rooting on my day. It's like,
Yep.
come on, Ryan, you can do this.
Is Mickey
Just
Mantle
three-
going to pay
yeah.
your mortgage?
Just 3 more steps. Just take that hand truck up 3 more steps. You got this. You know?
Right,
Why
I
do-
get it, man. But this is I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this life. I didn't choose. I didn't leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I did.
But not even leaving. You're
That's-
so filled with unrealistic expectations year to year.
It may be
and
unrealistic,
that's why
but
he
you
gets
know what?
himself so disappointed.
That is my
But
goddamn
this
team.
this coming into the season
This
was
season
unrealistic
wasn't,
expectations.
I will say is there was a lot of people, myself included, who said when they made the trade, the guy's going to get hurt. I didn't think it was going to happen 4 plays into the first game. But I knew he would get hurt because the guy is 40 years old. He's been a little banged up the
Was
last
there a
few
stipulation in the trade, something about a draft pick, but
Yes.
he had to play so many downs? Or-
Yes.
65% of the snaps Jets would have had to given them a first round pick.
Yeah.
But he played under, so they only lost a second round pick.
Yeah. Guys, I get very excited. That's one of my downfalls with the Jets. All right. And it's the Jets more than any other team. You know, for Christ's sake, I got them tattooed on my hip. But
Hip.
Exactly.
yeah.
Such a feminine tattoo.
Yeah, I got
for
a
a
sexy
male.
Jets tattoo.
I like to consider myself, a progressive, and
So
men
am
can
I,
do
but
men
that's-
can do whatever they want, and women can do whatever they want. But that did throw me.
I got a
He
sexy
basically
Jets
has a tramp
tattoo.
stamp
a male hip to.
I bought
on my hip.
an Aaron Rodgers jersey. A large Aaron Rodgers jersey. It's coming.
Add it to the list.
It's coming October 10th.
It's on its way. He got knocked out before he got the jersey.
Wait a second. I bought a large Aaron Rodgers jersey coming October 10th. Then I lost a little bit of weight. I was like, I'm going to buy a medium Aaron Rodgers jersey. I got 2 Aaron Rodgers jerseys coming to me October 10th. What am I going to do? I'm going to return them.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy another jersey.
yeah.
Get the next quarterback. Get Wilson again.
I already have Wilson. I think I might do Brees Hall.
This is an old jersey you're wearing
At
right
what
now,
point don't you realize
This is
that when,
Boomer Esiason.
Yeah.
when he buys a jersey, their career's done? So I wouldn't buy a Brees Hall jersey if I were you.
Listen,
You know it. What about your famous thing? He shows all the jerseys. He's got a post of all the jerseys he's bought and of all the terrible players.
Well, when you're a Jets fan, I mean, Jesus Christ, you go through a
gotta buy-
laundry list.
you got to get a
gotta-
legend, a Corbett jersey, a Gastineau jersey, name it. I don't
I
even
read the bar
respect the
last
Ken
night.
O'Brien
I was
jersey.
at the bar last night. Guy sitting next to me wearing a Corbett jersey.
Corbett's-
and I
yeah,
was
Corbett's a
But
great
like,
one.
even who's the running Curtis
That's a safe
Martin?
bet, but that's a guy. That's someone who's playing it safe. I give him credit for not playing it safe.
No,
also-
he's
not
buying.
with
He's,
jerseys.
he's buying into this.
Unfortunately, I don't respect the person who doesn't play it safe because that's what happens. You got to play it safe with jerseys. They're too expensive
Yeah, they are.
to
They
play
are
around
expensive,
with a player.
Yeah.
But the problem is this. The Jets just released that beautiful new throwback jersey, and I need to
But
get
you
my
ruin the
mitts on it.
throwback jersey on a player that's played 4 plays for you.
Well, I'm going to return that. I'm going to return both of those jerseys.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable that the guy plays four plays. I got 2 Aaron Rodgers jerseys coming to me next month. God, that's going to be a rough day looking at that.
It won't be so
Oh.
rough if they continue to win.
I think they're going to continue to win. I
This
honestly believe,
yeah, exactly.
No, I mean,
dude, I have
clip that face of when you say that so we can go back to that later.
no, I got faith in this team. I believe in this team.
Yeah.
What I saw last night, yeah, I was
again-
disappointed.
and
But what
again-
I saw last night,
You should though. You should be.
That's-
You have a good team.
that's why you root for the that's why you play the game.
Yeah.
You play to win the game.
I hate the Jets, but they do have a very good team.
yeah.
But
Beat the
they're not
Bills.
going to
Beat
do
the
anything
Bills.
because their quarterback is especially bad. He's not like
Listen.
Trent Dilfer, game manager, not doing anything
If he
good.
could be a game manager,
He's a game ruiner. Like he's going to throw away games.
all right. Well, listen. Hopefully, the talent outweighs Zach
And
Wilson.
XB, his good old friend, when all this was going on, was words of encouragement. I text you throughout the night, right?
A lot of people were texting me. I don't even
You
remember
were
what
responding. I was saucing him.
Yeah, man. People like I was around big Jet fans and they were screaming and I think to myself, I'm just happy I have more in my life, to live for.
Yeah.
Because it seems like these people really have. They've been waiting for and I think to myself, I mean, I know that I'll get that way when I start watching a game, but I never got that way before. Like I never got that excited about beginning of the seasons.
I have.
It's always end of seasons I get nuts.
That Giants playoff run when they won, talk about that was as great as an emotional few weeks as I've ever had as a sports fan. There's nothing like it when they're riding high. But then, when the Mets lost in 2006 or 7,
Yeah.
when they were should have won the World Series that year, it was one of the worst. Then you realize as a fan, why am I so invested in this?
Yeah.
It's
It's
brutal.
embarrassing.
It is brutal. And yeah, I was waiting for this game. I mean, I was pacing my apartment all day. I had off on Monday, so I had nothing to do but to think about that game. And
Yeah.
and yeah, It was a roller coaster of emotions, and it turned out the right way, and I'm excited for the rest of the season. He's gone. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Go Jets.
I think it's
I'm-
better
you know-
for them that he's gone now than, let's say, they went half the year and he was
I
running
agree.
high,
I
and
agree.
then he goes down. You know, the whole year you don't have him.
I think it's funny, and I was laughing about it. I wasn't that invested in it, but you don't want to. You'll want the whole team there. Like if you don't want to beat the Jets because the quarterback is out. You want to beat the team that they put together.
But if he's, unfortunately, you got to beat who's in front of you.
Yeah, right. But it's like, so I'm not happy that he's out for the season. I think it's funny because of, like I said, the story that led up to it. And
I am so happy.
This like big thing that, like, I wanted to see out this season to see how this guy.
I would have loved
did.
to see it, but that's the life of a Jets fan, my friend.
So I came back. I stepped away from football for years, and I came back as a Vikings fan. I was
I
What
love
the?
it.
Wait, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? First, why did you step away?
because I just didn't care, and I still don't care that much.
So you're like,
I'm
let
not,
me be a
I'm not the-
Minnesota Vikings fan?
Yeah, there's a story that led me up to becoming a Vikings for picking the Vikings. But I was like, I'm not going back to the Jets. Like I've never. And a friend of mine who turned his back on the Mets years ago made a good case. He goes, I'm not watching the Mets anymore. He turned into a Kansas City fan. This was like years and years ago.
And then they happened to beat Kansas. Kansas
So-
City beat us in the World Series.
Wow.
So he's like, it's because it's the front office. Like I can't support the people that make bad decisions. Like they're constantly making bad decisions, and I can't support that. He's like, so I feel okay stepping up from a team. I'm not turning my back on the team. He goes, but if they can't make the right decisions at the beginning of the year, the off season to make the right moves, he goes, I'm not doing that. I'm switching teams.
I think
And
there's a
I know,
blind
like-
loyalty that we give for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's a hard thing, and I don't have any. I don't care. Like people criticize you, if like you change. You're supposed to.
Well,
stick
you
to the
have
team
no
you grew up in.
loyalty. That's very clear. That's very clear, and we need to watch out for this guy, Chick. That's what makes me realize.
If we make bad decisions, we could be gone.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't like management
If
over here.
if I judge B on his bad decision making, we wouldn't be friends.
Yeah.
Christ, if I judge you on your bad decision making, I mean, stop.
So
Just stop right there.
It's just like people around me were Vikings fans, and I liked Minnesota hip hop, and it was like
Minnesota hip hop. Huh?
The things that are coming out of your mouth right now are blowing
so
my mind.
I was like, I like a lot of my favorite rappers come from Minnesota.
Who?
Atmosphere,
Atmosphere's from Minnesota?
yeah, Brother Ali. I
didn't realize they were.
Idea.
That's my fault. I didn't realize
Yeah.
they were all from there.
Yeah, that's like there's a whole group called Doomtree with POS and Sims and all these rappers from Minnesota that I'm like,
I had no idea they were from
Is
Minnesota.
Minnesota
Huge-
like the capital of white rappers?
most of them are white rappers. Yeah. But POS was one of my favorite rappers. He's a black guy, and yeah, like all Minnesota, Twin Cities.
So that's why you became a Viking?
So I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna, I know they root for the Vikings, so I'm like, if I want somebody that I like to be happy, like it's nice to root for along. Like I root for the Eagles when I see them because I'm like, I know a lot of Eagles fans. I'm just like, I'm not as well invested.
You're not invested.
Can I tell
So
you?
I like to
understand
know.
that?
I like to know. Like my sister's a Giant fan. I root for the Giants when I'm watching them. I know
Yeah.
my mother's a Jet fan. I can look for the pluses, the
Yes.
positives of a team winning. There's certain teams that I'm like,
I wish I
just
had that.
I have a huge loyalty to my Giants, so I am a Giants fan. But growing up, I always loved Jerry Rice, so I kind of cheered for San Francisco.
yeah.
But going to what you said, my favorite rap group around right now, or group of guys,
Oh,
Griselda.
Tell me he's going to
They're
tell
all
me he
from
likes
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo rather. Yeah.
So I kind of, not that I'm cheering for Buffalo, but I don't mind. Like I like seeing them
Yeah.
win. Like last night, I love to see Buffalo. If
Yeah.
they're not playing the Giants, yeah, fucking let them win, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm hearing that you guys are rooting for football teams based
Yeah, I
on
love
the
Buffalo.
One,
rappers. that
Buffalo's a
live
New
there.
York team, so I don't feel terrible as that being like an AFC squad. But it's not. I'm
Also,
not a Buffalo
Buffalo's
fan.
done.
I'm
They
not a
stink.
Buffalo fan, but I could cheer for them
So
because
last night was to me. I was watching Diggs versus Cook because they were ex-Vikings.
Yep.
So I was like, I love those guys in the Vikings, and that's another thing I hate about is rooting for a team is that these guys don't. I was so excited for Diggs' career, and these guys was so much fun to watch, and and then they
It's
just
awesome.
trade him. So now I root for the Bills because I like to watch Diggs on the Bills. It's
There's
like-
nothing wrong with being a football fan or being a fan of players and rooting for them. I don't see anything wrong
I'll tell
with
you
that.
what's wrong is me. I'm the one that's wrong. That's having a stroke
I don't-
because of my
it's-
team.
No, you're not
But
either, though, because
also-
I'm like you.
But you know what? But there's something about it. and I haven't seen the Jets win a Super Bowl,
And you never will.
and I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
But,
You won't.
But if I do, you're gonna have to peel me up off the goddamn ground.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Like it's great when when the Cubbies finally won, or when
Yeah.
when the team
But you know
finally
what?
wins.
B says
after
I
so
don't
long.
understand, but I'm also a Knicks fan and a fucking Mets fan.
Yeah.
So
We
yeah, I
had the
get
Knicks
it.
in '90s,
But they didn't win. They blew it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they were a
Because
good
of
team.
Starks not getting pulled out of it. Like, listen, we've had our fair share. The Charles Smith getting stuffed by
having
every
a good
bull.
team. The Mets have had good teams, but
The Mets
Yeah.
should
this
have
year-
won the Mets.
This going into this
year,
year,
they
everyone
should have been
thought-
good.
Yeah,
So like I know exactly what he's talking about. I've learned to not like I don't get as upset. Like if I do, it's short lived.
How about this one? This actually is one that doesn't really even sit well with me. My father, growing up, Jet fan his whole life. Big Jet fan. Meets a woman who lives in New Hampshire.
No.
Yeah, they have a long-term relationship for years. He's traveling up and down. Eventually, I see him. He's got a Patriots hat. Yeah, I got a Patriot. I live for the Patriots. Now he's full-blown Patriots fan, lifelong Jet fan, Patriot fan, rival. I mean, literal rivals.
That to me is insane.
Now, because of a woman who lives up there, goes, well, I live up here. And his excuse is like, oh, he's root for, I just like the sport. I like the Mets. I like the Yankees.
you
I
got to see the
get-
shoes on this broad. It's enough for me to wear a Patriots hat.
That's a good callback.
She
Yeah.
she's supposed to change. To me, the man. This probably sounds completely wrong, but when it comes to sports, I feel like most of the time the men are the bigger fans.
And he was definitely a bigger sports fan. So
usually the
But
lesser.
they had Brady. And,
I get it.
And my father, but
that
you're
I
supposed to
get.
hate Brady. You're supposed to hate Brady
yeah.
with a passion.
Not if you're getting Super
He
Bowls.
was way into Brady. Yeah.
But it also shows me where your thinking comes from.
But that does make
my
a lot
blood,
of sense.
it's in the blood. Yeah,
It's in the blood.
My lack of
My dad is out. Although my
Has
dad,
your sister ever
I'll tell
changed?
you one thing. My dad did fall asleep last night.
Well, she grew up in a Jet house, but then when she's was younger, her first
She
boyfriend was a
very
Giants fan.
early.
See, now you're making chicks. Chick just said, his statement come true.
Yeah,
What?
and she's the same thing with Yankees.
Boyfriend
She
was a
was
Giant.
a Met fan. Our whole family was Met fans, but then she switched to the Yankees at some point because of
A boyfriend, probably.
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
a
That's what
boyfriend.
girls do, and I'm not knocking it. It's just more common
Yeah.
that
He's
the
right.
girl
Yeah,
switches
if you're not that,
than
they're
the
not
guy.
that, if they're not
'Cause
that
they
invested in
usually-
sports,
Exactly.
then, yeah, I'm going to root your team.
Can I ask you, with the Jets, when was it that you're like, I don't give a shit? Do you remember the last time you cared?
Oh, don't say it like that.
Last time I cared.
Do you remember?
I will say I was never as big a football fan as I was a baseball fan to start with. I definitely like the Jets, but I was
But it was the Mets mostly.
the Mets was I was like
I'm about to get tears on this tattoo.
Yeah, me too. Tears on my hip.
No, it was
would look even
mid '90s,
Mid '90s.
or late '90s. Maybe I gave up. Yeah, that I just didn't.
That was a great
care.
time to give up on the Jets.
And then I'm more into football now, I think, than I've ever been. Like
Okay.
the last few
I mean,
years.
you got Justin Jefferson is unbelievable.
I
He might be the second
Kirk
best
Cousins
receiver
isn't
in
easy
the
to
league.
root for quarterback.
Next to, Garrett Wilson.
he's so annoying to watch. Kirk
It's
Cousins.
tough to watch, but he's,
Oh my God.
he's
Yeah.
good.
Did you see that quarterback show?
Yeah, I tried watching it. He's such a
He's such a
loser.
bland, like.
He's such a loser.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. I was
yeah.
trying not to go
He's
that
so
far
boring.
into it.
And there was like
I-
that video of him
He's just
dancing.
boring,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
No personality.
He's kind of interesting. I feel like he's getting more of a personality.
I got an RV when they got the first year of that new stadium. I got an RV and we went to opening game in
How is the new
Minnesota.
stadium?
It's crazy. It's sick.
I
looks
did not
awesome.
know anything about this.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about Ryan. Well, peeling back the layers, he's an onion.
I didn't even think you were like a big sports guy.
I'm not a real big sports guy. Like I grew up loving sports.
But that's
So
what
I
he's
know
saying, that he's not,
I know
like-
enough about it that I can have a conversation about it. But everything I know, I hear through like talk radio how much
But
they
that's what
talk
everybody
about
else
it.
does.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like I can't invest a whole Sunday to football. Like I'll watch the Vikings here and there. Like I have the package. I can watch the Vikings at home.
I could easily just watch the Giant game and not watch any other games. I don't.
Same with the
I
Jets, yeah.
really like.
Yeah.
I am a football fan, and I enjoy watching other teams and other games sometimes. But if there's something on TV that I want
I'm
to
always
watch,
like I do a lot on my computer, but I like the sound of football in the background while I'm working on my
I
computer.
do
it's
too.
so
It
nice.
actually
Yeah.
is a very.
It's a nice sound.
It's a
Yeah.
good game to. It's like baseball's a good game to listen to.
Yeah.
The sound of football is a good. It's a good nap sound too.
Yeah, it is.
I'll nap to a football
Nothing
game.
beats baseball outside though. Like outside listening to baseball on the radio.
Oh, it's a beautiful
that
sound.
to me still is the best.
Let me tell you, man. When
I don't watch golf, but I have been in the room with golf, and that's like an
That'll put you to
that's like
sleep.
an ASMR. It's like it'll put you to sleep too.
it
It's
does.
a good nap.
with
Yeah.
baseball, I love like in the beginning of the season, when I'm at work, I like putting on the Yankees during the like the
Preseason?
yeah no
Spring
like-
training?
no just the first few games.
Oh, like the
just
1
to
o'clock games.
listen on the radio. It is relax. There's something about listening to baseball on the radio that's I love.
Yeah, it's
I
really
love
The
it.
game was, I mean, think about it. For years, most sports were just listened to. So that's why announcers were bigger back then. And now you got all these assholes. Half of them suck. But
it's
But
a
when
very-
you're good,
it's-
you're good. I mean, the
But
go.
baseball
Mets-
is a very simple sport to visualize in your head.
Yes.
Because it's not like football. The plays, to watching the plays is exciting to see how it happens, how a guy breaks free.
you can't describe
It's like-
11 people at once.
Shot to right field over the right fielder's head. Guy rounding second. You can see it. You can seal that in your head.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's not a lot of moving parts.
And even basketball's tough because there's some guys with the Knicks, luckily in New
Play
York.
by play, it's like pass to him, pass to him.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
you can kind of visualize it, but not like you can't.
Yeah,
Like
no,
baseball is definitely the
there's
best.
there's 3 bases and there's home plate and there's the fields. Like it's a lot of easy words, shortcuts
Yeah,
to
and they don't miss anything because it's so slow of a
Yeah.
game that they could literally tell
Yeah.
pitch by pitch. Football,
Yeah.
basketball, they'll miss
Yeah,
a thing
those-
here too. Like wait, what happened?
Yeah.
It's like
I love baseball
I-
announcers can like tell little stories in between too.
Yeah,
they can
definitely
weave
time for
those
that.
in.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think a lot of the better announcers go to radio because it's like they're more talented. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
so
the
you have
best
to like
ones.
you have to.
there's no
I'm mad-
ex-athletes that are on the radio. Mostly they're all on visual.
Right.
Like, the good announcers are on the
Tiki
radio.
Bar-
I'm
Barber.
annoyed that I never did.
sucks.
So the Manning cast
I love it.
it's such a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
But I literally had this idea 15 years ago. Well, but like before, I don't know. It was like obviously the internet was around. It was pretty deep into the internet. But I was like, why don't we just do like I thought like doing streaming.
That okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
All right.
streaming calling a game like regular dudes calling a game. Like you get like 3 guys that are just curse and like they're cracking beers and they're like like that's. But I was not the one suited to do that. I just had the because like I would have to be like, oh,
The
explain to
Mannings
me.
are perfect.
Manning's good for
They
it, but
are.
I just thought like but anybody could do that now, and you could say like, yeah, tune into my simulcast of this
Well,
game.
oh yeah, while I
And you watch the game, tune into us calling the game, and it's just guys like talking like guys talk about
we should watch a Jet game with B.
I was just saying that would be interesting.
yeah.
Like
You could picture and picture
me
it,
and you
know?
could kind of call the game, and just B is our color analyst.
I would do that. I would watch the game with other people for that. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
By the way, Bill Burr has done that for the Patriots, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, this is like I said all before this.
Yeah.
It's such a great idea.
It
Like, I would
really
I
rather
is.
mean, we could
'cause-
even do that if the Knicks made the playoffs. Watching it, we're both big Knicks fans. I'm nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more nuts with the Knicks than anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a great idea
Yeah.
for us to call a game, but we'd have to do it live. Can we
Yeah.
do live?
Yeah, we can do
Oh,
live.
all right.
Yeah. That would be fun.
I think the Mannings, their personalities, I think it's hard for people to really dislike them because they're not arrogant. They're not, when they're funny.
It's weird because like Kirk Cousins is boring and dopey, like, and they're kind of dopey too, but in like a fun way.
They have
Like,
more
a fun level.
personality.
Yeah,
They do
yeah.
have
Yeah.
And you could tell they're not so like G-rated. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
a little edge to them. I mean, not a whole lot, but a little bit. And they know the game extremely well.
Yeah.
But I think Monday nights with them is the best way to watch football of not your team.
Not your team. I
Not
couldn't.
your
I
team? Yes.
didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
I went. I ended up leaving at the second half, but I couldn't. I love Manningcast. Not with my own team. Not
Yeah.
with my own team.
It's
I
nice
could
for
watch
you.
the Giants because Eli Manning was a big Giant. You watch a Giant game with Eli. It's like watching the Giants with Eli. And I know it sounds kind of whatever, but to me,
But
I
he's
could
not,
do
but
that.
he's not like a homer when he calls a Giant.
Yeah, he
fan.
is. He's a huge Giant fan.
But he doesn't call it that way. Like when you're listening to
He's
him call a game,
still. he's still.
He'll criticize though.
Oh, but I want him to.
Yeah,
Carl Banks is the
right.
biggest criticizer of the Giants out of anybody, but he also is a
Yeah.
fan, and he's probably the most he knows what he's talking. He's not lying. You know what I mean? He's
right.
not
Yeah.
like, it's not for clicks.
Right.
He's usually probably right on what he's talking about for the most part.
Yeah.
By the way, I mentioned Rich Kotite's 1-15, 1-16 season in '96. I believe there was a year after the Jets had the number 1 pick. They got Keyshawn Johnson, but Peyton Manning
Didn't come because of that.
didn't come because the Jets had the number 1 pick. I hated Peyton Manning for a long time because he saw that he was going to get drafted
stayed
number
in
1.
college an extra year so he wouldn't go to the Jets.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, come on.
It's the greatest decision he made as a player.
Who knows? Who knows
though?
what would
If he
happen?
was such a good quarterback, he would have.
Because the difference between that and the Irsay's, the Colts are a good franchise. They're run well. The Jets wouldn't have built around them.
You never
They
know.
don't. But they've had other good players. They don't build
Yeah,
around
but they
them.
had-
They're
they-
known to make bad draft spot. So, like, yeah, they would have made that.
Vernon Gholston. We talked about Kyle Brady for Christ's
That's
sake.
my point. So you thought they were gonna. The only reason why they
Christian
would have.
Hackenberg in the 2nd round for Christ's sake.
So
Two
you
Penn
think
State
you would have
guys.
trusted them to build around Peyton Manning?
Yes.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
But they were building around Rodgers this year. Like they were
Different management
they were letting
now. He
Rodgers.
knows
It
that
is different
too.
management.
Completely
Okay,
different
yeah, so
management
back
now.
then
It was different management. But listen, the Colts were not a good team, and Peyton was
They
not
weren't.
good his first year. But
Yeah, he had a terrible first year.
But anyway, the point of this was I hated Peyton Manning his whole career.
Yeah.
His whole career. Even when he left the Colts and there was like talk of him going to the Jets, I was like, screw him. Also, I hated him because he recommended that googly-eyed Adam Gase. I'll never forget that press conference where they get Adam Gase and he's just staring into the
Googly-eyed.
ceiling. But yeah, look at that press conference if you want a good laugh. Adam Gase, Jets press conference. But Adam Gase was the guy that was recommended by Peyton Manning. So I hated Peyton Manning for a long time.
Let's be honest. His second Super Bowl was a joke. Like his second
Yeah.
Super Bowl championship was a joke.
Why? I'm a
Because-
huge fan of Peyton, so
Yeah,
I'm
but
curious
it
why.
was
I'm
all,
a fan
it was
of
all,
Peyton
It was
now.
all defense.
You could say that about almost half of Tom Brady's Super Bowls. They were all defense, and he knows it.
Tom Brady was a great game manager.
So is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning actually has a better winning percentage against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Look it up.
Well, yeah, all right. See, I don't know.
You
I
don't win
know-
without
I
a
don't know if it-
defense.
No, I know that, but
Brady
That
had
was
two-
a great defense.
but
Peyton Manning had two good defenses in
Brady
his
would
life.
always have a couple of like standout throws or like he would
That
always,
year, he broke
it'd
the
always
record for
it'd always
touchdown
be sprinkled
passes.
with that. But that the Super Bowl itself
The
was
Super
like
Bowl itself,
not-
yeah, he didn't.
not-
You just got to
yeah.
manage that game, though.
Yeah.
You just got to
Peyton
win that
Manning
game.
historically was not great in the playoffs, though.
He was 500, but he had a lot of great games. He wasn't bad in the playoffs, and they were always in the playoffs with no defense. It wasn't that Peyton was bad.
Yeah.
They were never really healthy. The one year the Colts were healthy on defense, they won a Super Bowl. The one year he had the best defense in the league, he won a Super Bowl. He is a better game manager than Brady because he'll run the ball.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
But Brady's the best.
But-
You're not gonna sit here.
All that said, Eli Manning. Listen, Eli Manning. I didn't love either, but I love those guys now.
Yeah.
Man, they
Because
turn
they're
me.
hard to not like.
You can't not like them. They're great in the commercials.
Yeah, good SNL appearances.
Great as by the
when
way,
he throws when he's the quarterback and he's whizzing it out, that is one of my favorite SNL skits.
and they look funny too.
They both are ugly and weird looking humans, but
And there's another thing. Arch Manning is coming up. Watch, he's a good looking
Yeah.
kid
the
though.
Giants, that's what I'm praying for. Like, I'm in them right now. I just hope the Giants don't embarrass themselves the next few years and then somehow we get Arch Manning.
By the way, this is the most sports talk we've ever done
I
on
was going
this
to say
podcast.
this is just a sports talk
It is
show.
what it
now.
is. But you know what? One out of
It was a big-
200 and whatever.
Yeah.
It was a big
And-
night
and
last
yesterday was a
night.
big.
For
that was-
Christ's sake, I've
yeah.
been waiting for yesterday for
I want to
9
keep the
months of
sports
film.
talk going, though. I coached my
Oh,
first
that's
weekend
right.
of flag football.
Yeah.
Now I'm coaching kindergartners, which I don't know how old they are. What, 5, 6, maybe 7? I don't know.
Aren't you teaching them?
I don't know how old they are. I just know they're kindergartners. That's my thing. It says kindergartners.
Okay, that's that. So this is the same team. This is not. There's a.
I
this
have,
is the
I
flag-
have a kindergarten team that I'm an assistant coach on.
Yeah.
And then I have
this
the
flag.
3rd and 4th graders, which are 8 and 9-year-olds.
Uh-huh.
So I guess kindergartners would be 7, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 4th graders, and I'm the head coach of that team. And that is where it's a little more serious. not very
Well,
serious.
the older you get it, the more serious. it
Yeah,
gets.
exactly. But it's the first year, I think, where they have a playoffs and stuff. So I'm going. I had one practice before because I'm learning the flag rules because I never did flag before.
Yeah.
So I had one practice the day before, and I got this father hovering over my back. I got another assistant coach who's like, just I don't want to say aggressive, but he's let's do this. He just had a lot to say.
To you? What are the kids?
Yeah, but he was trying to help. It wasn't
Yeah,
stepping on toes. But it was like my first practice, and I was just like, oh God.
You're the head guy.
I'm the head guy. So I wanted to be like, I got to assert my I'm the head honcho.
Yeah.
So I was able to do that when we had our first game. Practice, I was a little nervous about the year. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a long season. But the first game, I call all the plays. Dude, we had a pouring rain game. In the pouring rain, flag, they don't call it or postpone it.
That's
So I am
unbelievable.
drenched. I mean, he knows
I was gonna go to this game, and then the sky opened up. I was like, all right, I guess that game's not happening.
But I had a great time, even though we got soaked. We lost by one score. But now I'm on the field. I got to help these kids call these plays. They don't really listen,
Yeah.
but they listen a little bit. My assistant coach, I told you I was knocking him. He's like, yo, we got to run a reverse. Best play we had was the run game, running reverses and flag. Because kids, once they
So-
run one way, they all go one way.
He should be the
The other
coach.
kid gets it.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
No, he had one play. And
How
that
did-
was it.
So next week he's
How
the
did
head
this
coach.
end up in your lap?
I always want to coach. So whenever my nephew joins something, I always tell my brother and sister, listen, I want to coach. If you can throw my name in the mix, like I'm down. I happen to know the guy running this league. So it was easier for me to get my foot in the door. 'Cause
Yeah.
my brother, do you care if I coach? No, go for it. Boom, hit my buddy up. Yo, I'm coaching this team. And he's like, all right. But I didn't
And
have
all
an
the other-
assistant, which is my problem.
Yeah.
Most of these guys come with an assistant. Like you pick another kid's father or whatever.
Just like you do in the
Yeah, so you can
NFL.
get that kid on
You
the
want
team.
your guys.
Yeah, you want your guys. Plus, your assistant. I didn't do that. I just wanted to coach. They threw me this assistant who I've never met. So it's a learning curve, but we'll be all right. Great. We had a rough loss though. We
sounds like
lost
fun.
by one touchdown. We had a lot of chances, but it was
If
pouring.
at
The
any
kids couldn't
point
catch.
when you're coaching, if we ever yell, "Get it," then you should just walk away and never coach again.
Get it?
Get
No,
it.
I never do that.
No, you ever like see people screaming on the sidelines, "Get it, get it!" Like get him.
yeah.
Like,
Get 'em.
That is the least helpful thing.
It is-
like,
yeah, we know to get 'em.
Yeah, get him.
I've probably said that a few
No, I
times.
don't think
Listen, it might be a habit at like when
Yeah.
you first do it, but
I was at the beach a couple weeks ago and I heard somebody they were playing volleyball and like there was just 2-on-2 and like one person just screams to the other person, "Get it!" And I would have like got up and be like, "You don't think that I know the whole point of this is to get it?"
yeah,
Like literally the only thing it's like,
it's so true. Though.
yeah,
But so the younger guys, though, that was fun because they just have no clue what's going on. And they
Yeah.
literally, kids will run in circles and now they're running for the end zone and then just start turning for no reason.
yeah.
And now
You said this team was pretty good though. The squad you got
my
right.
kindergartners
Yeah.
will
no,
be
no,
good
the
enough.
other kids.
Yeah, they were good.
They
we
were-
got some talent.
You
on
got
the
some
team.
talent.
Like, listen, we got some talent. We got some,
Did you play in high school?
I didn't play high school, but I played up until about 9th grade.
Okay.
I didn't play flag, though. I played tackle.
Yeah.
I was a stud in my.
Chick was an
was a
athlete.
good athlete.
I can't even not say he wasn't.
Yeah, no, I was. I was good. And then I quit everything to smoke weed and socialize.
Yeah.
That's really what I did in life.
Yeah.
By 10th grade,
Good
I was
choice.
done with every sport, and I was just a professional, chiller.
If only you can make that a sport.
You know what's fucked up? I hung out with all the jocks. Like, a lot of my friends played sports, but even my group, not all of us did.
All the
But
jocks
everybody
did
would
the
call,
show.
like, oh, you're a jock. I was like, I don't even play anything. How am I a jock? I
Yeah.
fucking smoke weed.
it's-
I'm a stoner, if anything.
Yeah.
It's a vibe. If you like sports, you're
Exactly, you're a jock. I mean, I got suspended a month and a half for smoking weed. Like, I was pretty
Did
much
you
like,
really?
yeah, I was like, I'm a fucking stoner
It's
more
funny
than
because
I'm a jock.
I used to play a lot of handball in school, like on the school premises, which is a sick. It's a dirtbag
Yeah.
move. Nobody.
Not a-
and-
I don't know why they get that rap as
But
being
then nobody
dirtbags.
calls them athletes. Like
No,
the
they don't.
Jocks.
They
You don't
don't.
get jocks. Like yeah. And I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't a dirtbag at all. I was more of an athlete that was in the dirtbags realm.
Oh, yeah.
You know why? Because the handball guys,
They wear baggy jeans and wife beaters.
They
like-
smoke.
Yeah,
They're
they're playing,
smokers.
they're in the same level as the hacky sack guys.
Yeah.
That's
They
it.
usually are the same group, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you waiting for next? You're playing hockey.
You play hacky sack. But, like, I would smoke. That's when I quit sports, is when we were smoking weed before practice. And I realized, like, I'd rather be outside doing this and then having to go to practice.
Yeah. I'm gonna
What the fuck?
B's trying to post our conversation on
Dude, it accidentally recorded.
the whole episode.
No. Sorry about that. Discord. I turned my phone upside down. Sorry.
We'll
Apologize for that.
this is gonna be a whole sports thing. So while we're at it, I try
We
to
might as well just
I try to
continue
joke
with
out.
the
I tried to
theme.
joke out the other night on stage, and I thought it was really funny, but it was about it. So, but it's more. I just want to talk about it conversationally. I love that OJ is on Twitter. He's like makes recommendations for like front office things.
He's the best.
He's like, I think Cleveland needs to, they really need to work on getting a running back or this, that, the other thing. And I love the idea of him making a recommendation and the team that he like talked about, like they were about to do the thing that he recommended.
Until he said it.
But then he can't. He goes, well, we can't do it now. We're also gonna look like we're taking advice from OJ. Like OJ, shut the fuck up. That's what we're gonna do. Now we can't do it.
Yeah, we know OJ.
Yeah, we know
Thank
him.
you.
Yeah. That's so great.
You had there was a year where we were just sharing
That's
OJ's tweets because he had the most ridiculous tweets.
But then, like other teams could use it, like they could pay OJ to make recommendations for
that's so
for
good.
opponents. To be
Yes.
like, hey, can you like we're trying to pick up this guy, but we think that, someone else is going to pick him up first. Can you suggest that they do that so that they don't do that?
Hello,
Does he
Twitter
still do
world.
it from the golf cart?
I haven't watched. I didn't watch
He
it.
used
It
to
was
always
wild,
in
but
a
yeah,
golf
it was-
cart was golfing
In a
every
golf
day.
cart, and he would tweet by talking.
Yeah,
He would tweet.
Hello,
by
Twitter
talk.
world.
Hello,
Yeah.
Twitter world.
it was all tweet videos.
He was one of my favorite people on
He
Twitter.
was just somebody.
And
just
then
had-
you would get
somebody-
comments of just knives.
The
Yeah,
comment
I know.
section is the best on anything.
Oh, it was always about I wish if only Nicole could say
yeah,
that,
they
or,
always
it's
start
always-
reaming him. It's just a
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah.
jokes.
Yeah, and
Is it bad that I'm a fan of OJ still?
like his playing.
I just like him. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
like he entertains me
So
when
if
I
you
see
saw,
him.
so the question is always, if you run into OJ, do you take a selfie with him? Like, do you ask him for a picture? Like, that's always,
Maybe, yeah. I
do you
might.
post? Do you post it?
If you take it, are you not gonna post it? But I don't know. That's a tough question.
It is
Yeah.
a tough question. I think I'd have to take the picture.
I think I'm taking the.
I
I
would
think
have to
I'm
post
taking the picture and posting it and making a joke about it.
Yeah,
I'm
just
taking
like,
the picture.
Hello,
just-
Twitter world.
just for
That's,
That's
all,
what I would be.
Yeah,
that's what you'd have to do.
I'm
Just to
taking
be like, I realize this is a ridiculous
yeah.
thing. What would you do?
God, it's. I mean, I really did love the Naked Gun movies.
I mean, come
I
on.
mean, the guy is. He got proved innocent. Are we gonna? Like
Not fiscally though. Fiscally, it was.
but that doesn't. That they only need. They don't need to pay it beyond reasonable
That's
doubt.
That's why you can say he was a murderer because he was convicted.
He wasn't convicted of murder. He was convicted of being financially liable.
Yeah, which is
He's not convicted of murder. I understand what you're saying, and we're really just picking,
Yeah.
But I always say, like, yo, innocent till proven guilty.
he was just on,
Simpson
he was just on somebody's podcast. Somebody had him on their podcast.
So he does podcasts now.
He does
he's a
anything
guest.
that you'll give him. He's not ashamed of
But-
himself.
So Mace and Cameron have their own podcast now.
If anybody's never listened to them,
Is
I
it a
know it's
sports?
gonna be-
Is it a sports podcast?
it's a sports podcast. It's
Is it?
fucking hysterical.
Yeah,
they
but
are good. It's
They had
good.
OJ on though.
Dude, they're great.
Oh my god,
They were high school.
I would listen to
They
that.
played together in high school.
I know Cameron was like.
They were
a
both pretty good
major
athletes.
And the
football
funny
Yeah.
thing is,
basketball
so they were, Cameron's one of his nicknames is Killer Cam.
Yep.
So
Oh, yeah.
they got an OJ on the thing, and
Yes.
Mace is like referencing. He goes, "Yo, killer." I'm not trying to say, and it got tense for a minute. It was like I'm talking to like him. I'm not. Not you, OJ. I'm talking to. We call him Killer sometimes.
Now, what is OJ doing? Does he just laugh it off?
I don't, he just like did like I really they didn't really talk about it, but it was like
He almost
everyone
made a
watching
book
was
that
like,
said, like, if I did it, this
if I
is
did
how
this,
I
how
would
he
have
did.
done.
He did
Yeah,
write a
he
book.
did.
But they never released it.
Then release it because because
I thought they didn't
the
release
Goldmans were going to get all the money if he
If he
released
released,
it.
they were getting everything.
But then they eventually put it out. Like I think the Goldmans put it out, but he did like an
Did
interview
they? I
about
didn't
it,
realize they did put it out.
and it was essentially him walking you through the murders.
Murders. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an insane thing.
But here's my
Yeah.
thing: a guy who puts a book out like that, who hasn't hid from the public eye, he's out like he don't give a fuck. He's out there, in his opinion.
Yeah.
I'm innocent. I've always claimed to be innocent. I was proven innocent. I'm gonna live my life like I was innocent, which I respect. To like what? Because if you, here's why, and I get it. Everyone's gonna be like, you're an asshole, but it's like, if you're gonna really stand by your and say I'm innocent, right? You can't like become innocent and then just fall back and hide like I just pulled one past you. Double down on it.
Yeah.
And I respect that he's just whether You know what? You don't have to believe him in his. Like,
But do you respect that? Like,
I don't really
they have,
respect the guy,
like,
but you know what I
the
mean.
families, the victims' families are
Yeah,
still around and
it's
have to
like-
watch this guy just walk around and be everywhere.
I understand
It's a
that,
little
and
like-
I
Think
do.
about it, like somebody you love is.
I understand that,
this
but
is a
from
guy.
his stand, but I'm just trying to be like devil's advocate. From his point of view, what's he supposed to do?
I don't think you're being devil's advocate. I think you're just making your own point of what you.
Because I
you're
do
a
feel
big
what's
fan.
he supposed to do. No, not like I'm a
What's he
big.
What you're
supposed
supposed to do
is be
is-
like, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I did kill those people.
But then you go to. I mean, now I guess he could
yeah,
say
that's
it,
what he
double
should do.
jeopardy. But
no,
no,
but that's what he should be like. I deserve to be in jail. You want
maybe
like
he
you want to be.
didn't. Maybe
you
we
want to
are
do the right
wrong,
thing.
and
like
maybe
we're
he
past.
didn't.
You're asking like, what does OJ do like to do the right thing? We're past that. Oh, like you know what I mean?
that's my point. We're past the right thing. If he did
Yeah,
do
so-
it, and
but,
he's
like,
already.
You're asking what he can do to do the right thing. He can turn himself in and be like, I actually did kill those people.
Yeah,
That's the right thing.
That is the right thing.
Unless
Yeah.
he didn't.
Okay.
That's the same face I made when B said the
But if
Jets were going to win this year.
if you're OJ, I feel like have some respect for the families.
Just disappear.
Disappear.
But if you disappear to me, that's showing I'm guilty, and I feel.
But
like I
he,
need-
all right.
But yeah, but
if
he-
you're gonna say you're innocent, don't you want to?
I get it. All right, fine.
You get
fine,
what I'm saying? Though?
Fine, but don't be. The guy is. Don't be on Killer
yeah.
Cam and Mason's podcast. Don't be all over the
But
place.
he's trying to keep
Don't
it
give
just
me
strictly
your
sports.
NFL
He's
pick.
keeping it strictly sports. It's not like he's trying to talk about other
No, he's
court
not.
cases and
we don't talk about that California stuff. He says.
Yeah, he's-
he
you
calls
know-
he calls it the California stuff.
yeah, you know
is
what I'm
that what he
saying?
says?
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about it. It's not like he's promoting it. He's just trying to live his life. I mean, I get it. He killed somebody. And he
Live
got away
your
with it.
life on a golf course, away from the public eye.
That's what to do.
That's it.
So
That's
I
it.
was trying to come up with this joke. I was trying to talk about how, like, you wouldn't want to take advice from OJ because he doesn't have a great track record of making the best decisions. He's like, and then I wanted
Did
to
get
like,
away with murder.
yeah, like OJ is not known for such decisions as and I wanted to name it as Not on My Watch would be the name of like the murders, and then when he went to go like the other decision he made was fuck it, I'll go get it myself, which is the thing that like he got arrested for, was like going to get his property.
Get his property. Yeah.
So I'm like trying to figure out like how to like name his decisions. Like the chapters of his book would be like the murder is the title of that decision is like Not on My Watch.
Not
and
on my
And then the
watch.
title of the chapter is Steal This Stuff Back is like fuck it, I'll get it myself.
There's definitely a way to.
Yeah,
to-
I'm doing a show tomorrow night and I don't have an act for it, so I'm panicking. I'm trying
Did
to
you
put
watch
together
the
an act.
trial when you were younger?
Oh yeah, of course.
I remember like wanting to stay home from school so I could watch
Yeah.
the trial. Like I remember being vested into that thing.
I remember
Yeah.
being bored sick.
My
of
mother,
it.
my mother was upset. My mother used to, I don't know if that was the start of it or the court TV was a thing, and I think that
was
I
the
think it
beginning.
might have
that was
started
the thing
court
that
TV.
sparked court TV.
Yeah, so she was,
People
but
were so
then
into
she
it.
became obsessed with court TV from like that was her. She just watched that all day long. So my mother was obsessed with the OJ trial, which was funny because. So did I tell the story on here once? I don't
know. We gotta hear.
About so people say like they remember where they were, when the verdict came in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I said like I remember where I was. So I was listening to all right, how do I frame this? I was in photography class in high school, and the teacher put it on the radio. Mr. Pastor put it on the radio. We listened to it in my high school photography class, and that was where I was. And I was like, yeah, no, I definitely remember that. And then one day, 20 years later, I'm driving, I'm delivering to my old high school, and I'm listening to the Jim and Sam show on the radio, and they're talking about OJ, and it goes, and they're like, oh, yeah, everybody remembers where they were during the OJ verdict. I'm like, not only do I remember where I was, I'm still there. I'm like, it's like I was delivering to the loading dock of the school, and the loading dock was next to the photography class. I'm like, literally,
Oh, wow.
I was right there, and I felt like such a loser. I'm like, this is where I've come in 20 years. Like,
Right back where I started.
I've moved this far in 20
made
years.
it
Like,
4
dude,
feet.
oh, do you remember where I was? Yeah, I'm right here. I was right there.
Ryan,
Yeah.
one day you'll make it out of this dark room and onto that
Yeah.
loading dock.
Yeah. I've made it so far.
I love that. Just that trial. I just remember that going on.
Of course, I remember it. Yeah, I didn't watch it though.
Oh, I did.
I mean, I saw whatever was on television, but I wasn't like invested. I was a kid, so I wasn't.
Would you guys want to be a juror in a high
no
crime like that?
I don't.
I would.
But the only thing I worry about is missing out on work, like missing out on money.
I
Like,
could care
work.
less
He
about
don't
that.
care about money.
Yeah.
I'd
that's all.
rather be
That's
in the
apparent.
trial than make the money. I'm
So
not gonna lie.
last time I went to jury duty, I got out of it because I had my own court case that was to be taken care, like just a traffic
Yeah.
court, and but I was like, I kind of want to be in this case. Like they explained what the case was. It was like a pretty serious case. I was like, I kind of want to be on this trial.
I need a good criminal
yeah.
felony
But
case.
but yeah, I didn't want to miss my traffic court and like have to deal with like, all right, who do I have to contact about this?
Yeah.
Like, I put them in contact. It seems like,
Trust me, you can miss a traffic ticket. They just send you a bill in the mail.
well, I didn't want to get a bill. I wanted to fight it.
No, I know. I'm
And
just
get, 'cause-
busting chops.
I didn't want points on my license, so I was like, I wanted
What'd
to
you
be there.
do?
No, this was it was like a check. We talked about this
Oh,
on
we
like
did?
one of our first episodes that we ever did. We talked about getting pulled over.
Oh yeah, when I talk about how I love
Yeah.
the police.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I failed to. I was changing lanes to get out of to not.
HOV?
No, a cop had somebody pulled over on the shoulder, and I changed lanes to not pass them on the right lane to give them more space because I know they like that. But I didn't blink. I didn't signal my lane change, and then I didn't signal back, and it pulled me over. And I went to be like, asshole. Like the only reason I changed lanes, first of all, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's on the road. The only reason I changed lanes was for your safety because I know that's what you like, and I didn't blink it. I didn't signal it. You're
typical
gonna pull
cops.
me over. Yeah.
Jesus.
So it got
Right.
knocked down to like a parking ticket. You know, it's such a joke too. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
they
Yeah, it's
only
like,
want
oh, yeah, we'll
money.
give you-
They
yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
You show up, they're like, "Oh, you showed up. All right, we'll knock it down."
Yeah. Well, that was a fun. That's I don't listen to sports. Do you guys listen to sports talk ever?
I
do.
stopped about a year or two ago.
Yeah, I think
just
we
got
talked
over
about that
it.
too.
It's
Yeah.
the
I
same
listen-
shit
I
on
listen
every
all the time.
station.
Well,
I'm
we
over
just
their
we
opinions.
just did it. So
I know. I know.
But ours
Yeah.
is, I feel like we always have our little
Yeah.
side of things.
It was our own version of it. But
I
listen,
feel like there was something I was going to start the whole episode with that I mentioned, and then you put me away from it because I asked if we were recording, and I never got around to it. And
you
that
should
is why I
never
cut
ask
people
if we're
off.
recording. All right.
I know,
Never do that. Future
and that bothers me now because it's going to be bothering me the rest of the day.
bothers him. It's gonna be bothering him all night until he forgets about it. You'll
Yeah.
forget about it eventually.
He's still thinking about
I
it.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not your job.
You know what's going to happen now? No, that
Have you revised your chicks' picks yet?
I've been watching. No, I haven't.
Okay. Then I don't care.
I
what
have.
you're
I don't
watching.
think it's going to be a movie thing. That's why I'm going to completely get away from
All
it.
right, I can't wait to reveal.
Are we
You see
trying
that?
snacks?
No, we don't have that. I mean, I got more snacks if you want, but you see, I
Oh,
bought.
oh,
I
Are those
bought
Raisinets?
no,
No, those are
are
the
the things you
burgers.
tried last week. I bought them. I bought those on Amazon.
Dude, what did I tell you before I got here?
Yeah.
He was
I'm
like,
gonna give you- I'll give
I
you a-
hope he's got burgers.
I'll give you a couple packs of them.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the best.
Yeah. So yeah,
How good were those?
They were
they were
good.
good. Yeah. So Monique wanted to try them.
Because she heard how much we loved it.
But before that, when she saw that I had them, she goes, "Oh my god, this is so cute! I want to try those." I'm like, I can't open them yet.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
wait for after the podcast. So I kept them, but I didn't. They took them out of the wrap, and then they sat there and they got stale. So if you when you do take them, when you open them, this won't be a problem. I'm sure. Eat the whole thing at once.
Those going down in
Oh,
one
they go
sitting. I'm going
stale
to eat
quick?
one
yeah,
of
they
them
go
tonight.
stale quick. Yeah. So
I could see that.
I wanted to give
You
her
want to
fresh
know why?
ones.
Because
So
I
I
bet you
bought
it's healthier than what we get. They're not as...
not as much preservatives in it.
Yeah.
Preservatives.
Well, I mean,
Guaranteed.
it also wasn't like air.
I want my
airtight.
snacks going bad quick. I don't... If the longer it lasts in a bad environment, the worse there's shit in there.
He's right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
That's it.
But if something's these are fine when they're closed. It's when you open it, like
Oh, no, I get it. Yeah.
you can't leave air. Like you can't open a bag
I
of
know.
chips. And
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
But
It
but
never-
if you leave chips closed, they can stay.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering
Well-
what those were. I thought those were Raisinets.
No. Why do you
No.
like Raisinets?
Dude, I like
No,
Raisinets.
I just... They were the red. I thought they were Raisinets. I'm like,
You know,
this guy loves
Raisinets. Raisinets are my go-to movie theater candy.
Ugh.
Raisinets and popcorn.
Really?
I love a
Raisinets
raisinette.
and popcorn.
Wow.
I like to mix them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
A lot
like
of people
to
do
put- a lot of
M&Ms.
M&Ms and popcorn. Yeah, but my question is, what are you doing? Are you literally like taking an M&M and popcorn, like you one in the mouth at the same time, or you,
Yeah, yeah. I don't put it in the bag.
a little bit popcorn,
I'll
a
do like a little popcorn in one paw, little raisinette in the other paw.
and the same chew. It's all getting knocked
Salty
around.
sweet.
Yeah.
My issue is I like popcorn during movies, but I'm so much bigger of a nacho fan.
He loves nachos.
I love
I can't eat nachos at the goddamn
Why?
movie
It's
theater.
chips and a cheese. Oh, look at me dipping
No,
my
I
nachos
would
in the
spill.
cheese.
I would spill.
So
don't
that's
spill.
I don't
that's like
like-
old school, like nachos. Just yeah.
Yeah, I don't like those nachos.
They're not the
liquid.
best, but I love nachos. I don't.
you
Bad
make-
nacho
do you-
is still
do you-
a good nacho.
Do you make them at home ever on the microwave?
I was the original nacho maker at home.
You put
invented nacho.
layered chips down, melt the
Trust
cheese
me,
on
every
it.
chip is getting cheese on it.
I do layer.
Yeah.
I'm so particular
layer.
about it when I do that. Yeah,
So am I.
I make one layer of chip.
Yeah, one you got to
And
layer it. You
yeah.
can't just put a whole pile
I'd rather
of
make
chips.
I'd rather make 3 layers than do like a pile of.
I'd almost rather make a layer, eat it, make another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I usually don't.
don't
I
like
usually do
that.
a layer cheese, another layer of chips, cheese. So then I know I can. But then I'll make like a little
You know
sour
what's
cream
also-
on the side.
Do
I'll
you
the-
put it in the oven or you put it in the microwave?
put it in the microwave. Yeah.
That's what I normally do. If I'm feeling
Oven.
froggy, occasionally,
Oven.
the oven chip is so much better than a microwave chip.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it is.
Anything
Yeah.
in the oven is better than the
course.
microwave.
That's not true.
What isn't?
Sometimes,
Give me one food item that's better in the microwave.
pizza. I love
You're
it.
out of your
it's rubber.
goddamn mind.
I love a microwave slice.
it turns into it's rubber.
Once in a while, I love a microwave slice. I do. It just,
Here's my
Is he
equation.
insane?
Here's my cold pizza is
good.
good. Yeah, I'll usually do cold pizza because I don't want to wait for it in the oven, and I'm not putting it in the microwave because it's not even.
You know,
the
I've
same
never
thing.
had cold pizza.
Yeah, it's good.
Never had-
Microwave.
I would try it.
Next
I would
time you
try
do
it.
that, try and microwave it just a little. Keep it a little cold, but microwave it a little.
Yeah. No, I
I know what
think
you're talking about.
I think I stand by.
The crust gets a little rubbery, but every
Yeah.
once in a while, I enjoy
The
a
key is
microwave
the air
slice.
fryer. If you can put anything in the microwave, a few minutes in the air, like you can cook it straight up in the air
I
fryer
feel like
too.
the air fryer gives a weird taste.
Yeah,
I haven't really
Smell
had
it.
much in an air fryer.
I've never
to
had
be
that. I have
honest.
2 of them. I have one on top of the other. I have like a oven one and then I have a bucket one because it's like different things
Yeah,
call for
I get
different
it.
things. So, yeah, you can cook like straight up in the air fryer all the way. Or a lot of times what I do is I'll heat something in the microwave, throw it in the air fryer like on a hot temperature, crisp it up. So that's a nice because
I gotta use an air fryer. My friend gave me an air fryer.
You have one.
I
You're not using
haven't
it.
touched it.
I want a sous vide.
Did
is
you
the
ever
next thing I
head
want.
start something in the microwave and then go to the oven, or go in the
Yeah.
oven that it's
Take-
taking
you
too
gotta
long,
take-
and then
you-
finish it off in the
You
microwave?
take
for the-
chill. Whoa,
Yeah.
I never finish it in the microwave. I take the chill off in the microwave, and then you put it in the oven. That's it.
Yeah, while it's in the you get the oven nice and preheated because you want to get that crisp on a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Oven over anything.
Best nachos, Southampton Union Burgers. Best plate of nachos I've ever had in my life.
Southampton Union Burger.
Southampton Union Burger. Where
Yeah.
is it? Southampton.
Southampton. Yeah, it's called Union Burger, but it's in Southampton. Yeah, it's also goes by Union Sushi. It's 2 different places. Same,
Maybe I'll go
same
out there
building.
this week.
I love the Croxley's nachos, and I haven't had them in a while, unfortunately.
You know who has
the
great
taste.
nachos? We used to go out to Bayshore to get them before. It's still good in Massapequa.
Changing times.
No. Not saying that there's a bad. It's just that's not what I was talking about. I love Houlihan's, one of my favorite nachos around. But
Yeah,
Smoking Owls.
Smoking Owl's nachos
With the
Yeah.
pulled-
with
the
the
pulled
brisket.
brisket.
on it.
I like the
pulled
brisket.
Or pulled pork, either way. Go either one. The brisket.
God, I haven't been there.
The brisket nachos there, it's phenomenal.
That ranks on.
Okay,
top
I haven't
for me.
tried. I mean,
But-
I'm saying the best nachos I've had.
Bayshore was so much better than the Massapequa
We're telling
one.
you ours.
Yeah.
Bayshore was so much better. We used to go
Yes.
to the Bayshore one, even when the one in Massapequa opened. It was better, but
Bayshore
then they
was.
closed the Bayshore one.
Yeah, they did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think it's like salt and.
fucking hate
waffles or
Massapequa.
something.
They ruin everything.
All right.
Probably, rent, or whatever. Yeah, I think they did a lot of catering mostly. Like, I think their store was, that was good. People went into the brick and mortar place, but they do a ton of catering.
Do
now.
they?
Yeah,
See, I
for
didn't know
sure.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
know they were big caterers.
Yeah. Oh man, the things I used to love to eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Anyway.
we could taste something, but I feel like it's almost a wait. Like
We don't need to do
we're
a
gonna-
taste
we're
testing.
gonna
I'll
wait-
just take 8 of those boxes before
Yeah.
I go home.
Yeah.
You're not taking 8 of those.
I'm not.
We're splitting
joking.
one. All right,
One, he'll
guys.
give me what he wants. I don't have to worry about you.
I don't want these around. I bought them for
I'll
one.
take as many off your hands as
Yeah.
you want, and I'll give you money for them. I don't care.
Yeah, no.
I'll take one box.
All right.
Well, you're not
So
even
I-
going to taste it. You shouldn't take anything.
No, because I want to. I want to share with my nieces.
You want some yen to take home with you?
Yeah, I would love a yen.
Yeah, take some yen home with you.
No, I don't want to take you yen.
You know how much that costs? You know how much what that equals? One of those.
How much? I don't know
it's
yet.
it's like 0.06 cents. Like one of those.
I like the
silver
one
ones.
with with the
There's one with a
hole in it.
Yeah, that's
I could
fine.
turn that into a
That's
necklace.
5 yen. That's like less. That's less than a penny, probably.
Is it?
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
this
I
one
got
that,
bills over there. I got bills over there, but it's like I have like 10,000 yen. I got to trade it, but I'm waiting for the exchange rate to go in my
Yeah.
favor till I trade.
is
it
that a
back.
purple yen?
No, there's no purple yen. It's just purple,
purple.
lights in
Fucking
here.
colorblind.
No, you know what it is?
But if you made it this far,
It's bouncing
Yeah,
off that.
good idea. Good idea wrapping it up. No, we're talking about yen.
yeah.
It's a good time to wrap up.
And we're not even talking about anything anybody knows about.
I
B's
know.
just looking at it,
Yeah.
talking into the mic.
Yen
All right.
Ming.
But yeah, if you guys made it this far, thank you. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Yeah,
We
it's a
appreciate
good idea. All right.
And go Jets.
Bye.